On this episode of Hak5, we're bringing you persistent BackTrack 4 installs and a new userland image for the ZipIt. And snow! All that and more on this episode. This episode of Hak5 is brought to you by DICE, Go to Assist Express, and Domain.com. Got a great idea? It all starts with a great domain.
Hey, what's up? Welcome to Hak5. My name's Darren Kitchen.
Don't be so enthusiastic.
What? You get so mad at me every time where I'm like, hey, welcome to Hak5. I'm Darren Kitchen. You're supposed to say you're Shannon Morse. Yeah. That's Shannon Morse. We've got an excellent show for you guys this week.
So confused.
That's okay. It's senioritis. This happens at the end of every season. We've got one episode left of season 6, which will be next week, coming to you from ShmooCon. So if you're going to be in DC for the conference.
Hold on, give me a moment.
You really need one?
Yeah.
Bars and tone.
And we're back, and we're going to ShmooCon this year. It is next weekend, and we're going to be interviewing people and watching people talk about stuff on a stage, and a guy shooting stuff out of a gun. And ShmooCon balls.
T-shirts. Yeah, ShmooCon balls.
And T-shirts.
Anyway, you know that it's the Fun Security Conference that we love to cover over here on the East Coast. And there will be plenty of parties, so if you're, that was a good story.
Getting kicked out of parties.
Paul would tell you all
a party
of
in a
these
church.
Yeah, that ended up burning down.
Hey, I wonder if Dualcore's going to be there.
Dude, of course. Are you kidding me? That's going to be awesome to see 80. So
Yay!
if you guys are down for the shmoo, then hit us up because we'll be around there.
Next weekend.
It's been a great week. It's been a busy week. It seems like it's been forever since we've been on set, so let's do up Hak5 Classic before we go off to ShmooCon and then end this season and then reconfigure the entire show.
So this is what it looks like.
This is what it looks like.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's snowing outside.
It's a snow day, so we're kind of like, just going to have some beers and talk some tech. But we do have some awesome stuff. We're basically doing a lot of Linux stuff. Imagine that. I am getting into the new BackTrack 4, having a little fun playing with that, getting persistent install set up for you guys so that you don't lose your documents. And you've got users, images, lands.
An easier OS for your ZipIt.
I'm going to need you to flash my even cooler ZipIt when you're done with that, because
Did you break it?
No, but I'm still on the old userland, and that one is tight. So.
Yeah, this one's a lot easier, so
yeah.
I like easy.
Now we have a lot of links that people have sent us that I thought we would share with you. Some cool stuff going on. The first one about dual booting Android and Windows Mobile. And it makes me so sad because I'm rocking the Droid, and this isn't going to help me any. Actually,
does it only work on the HTC Nexus thingy?
Well, no, that's the thing, is they've taken the operating system from, like, you know, HTC, the latest, hottest new Droid phone, right? And then they've ported it so that you can dual boot a Windows Mobile phone. So if you're on one of those sad phones that runs Windows Mobile, there's potential there that you might be able to dual boot into a cooler operating system.
Okay, that's cool.
It's just like I do on my laptop, dual booting Windows 7 and Ubuntu. See, I pronounced that right just for you. But I'm switching to Mint. Anyway. So I just thought that was really cool, and it's a shame that I can't dual boot Android and Windows Mobile, but then again, at the same time, why would I want to? It's going backwards.
Why would you want to?
So congrats to you, Windmill folks. Dude, did you see the video that Chris from the Geek Group did? The Geek Group
made a video about basically a pineapple saying, will it fry? And they fried a whole bunch of volts into this pineapple, and I'll let you guys watch the video to find out if it lives or not. Yeah, we're not talking about one of these guys, we're talking about the actual fruit. It's pretty cool because they specifically said, like, thanks to you guys over at Hak5 for, you know, helping us create this show. Well, I've been talking to them for a while. They've been getting their studio together, and they've started a really cool show, so, you know, we support them. So, cheers to you guys. Congrats on the zapping a pineapple, if you will. Yeah. Woo, that's what's up. Well, on to a different drink. You hear about the decaf? Yeah, it's back up. Or is it back down now? It's back up now. It is? Yes. Okay, I went to their website and I saw this. There's another letter that they got. Oh, no. They got it back on the 20th. You know what? We give up on reporting this. We'll leave that to the pros at that stuff and just to say that it may or may not be up. But it was back up last time we checked. Yes. Who cares?
It's up, it's down, there's a mirror. As I found out today when I was looking for Aussie Man. We talked about it on episode 609 with Mubix. It's the way that you can tunnel your SSH traffic through DNS so that if you're at like a T-Mobile hotspot or all those hotspots that don't let you get on the internet without paying, but they still let you translate DNS.
Stupid.
So I put out a tweet, and then of course, everything is on archive.org or on room362.com. So thanks Mubix for the hookup on the mirror, and hopefully Dan Kaminsky will get his website back up soon.
Ooh.
Yes.
Yay.
What else? What else? There's so much. Oh, bypassing security on.
Yeah. So apparently you can bypass. Hey, where's your droid? Do you want to try it?
Yeah, it's right here. Yeah, and I already tried it, and it works.
It does?
Yeah.
So basically what you can do is there's a lock interface on the droid where you have to like hit a couple of different dots and then it lets you into the actual interface. But if you don't know the password, you're not supposed to get in. Well, if somebody's calling you on this droid, you can actually hit, is it the back button?
Right.
You can hit the back button, which will take you to the actual home screen with all the menu items on it. So you can go to any like web cookies, you can check the person's email, all sorts of stuff. So it's a very open privacy problem. And was it Windows that basically said, or Android that said something like, we're working on this issue and we'll come out with an update. Be a patch.
But this has been, you know, like almost every phone has had this, and I don't think the security of our handsets is really taken to the same scrutiny that our desktops are, and it's just a matter of time before that industry matures. But I just thought it was interesting that no, not even the Linux-based Android is impervious to the security flaws that are baked right in. We've seen this again and again. You did it on the Centro.
Yeah, my Centro was the same problem.
I did it years and years ago on a Windows mobile device. So
yeah, so it seems like they haven't figured that out yet. For the years and years that mobile smartphones have been out. So
except for the BlackBerry, surprisingly, has some of the best, at least that I've seen. They've got some really good enterprise stuff, and as far as like encryption is concerned. But then again, we got to get Jason Applebaum on the show because he'll probably come on and then make me very, very sad when it comes to cell phone security.
He'll teach us about security,
yeah,
I'm
we
sure.
need to make sure he gets those NDAs all cleared so he can come on and talk to us about fun stuff.
Yeah, I agree.
So what was it? Oh, right. So the other two that I just threw in the A block at the last minute. Yeah. Although I think we're running long on the A block, so why don't we just push those back to the D?
Sure.
T's Trivia and GTFO. So anyway, we would like to thank our awesome new sponsor, Dice, and we'll be back in just a bit. Dice.com is the place for tech jobs. Search over 50,000 tech jobs in every field and every skill level. The employers that tech pros want to work for are on Dice. Register and post your resume today and start getting noticed. Check out this job listing for an embedded firmware Linux engineer. They're looking for a full-time Linux kernel, C, and firmware hacker in Northern Virginia. Maybe wow them with a ZipIt OS rewrite. And there's a lot more than just jobs. Get tips, tools, and advice to give your tech career a boost at Dice.com. As you guys know, when it comes to the fun packet sniffing and black hat stuff, my favorite operating system is BackTrack. They make it really easy because they bake a lot of the great tools right in, and you don't have to worry about dependencies and different versions of stuff. Everything's just pretty much in there. And years in the making, the 4th version is out, not in beta, not in pre-final, whatever. It's BackTrack 4 Final is out, and I'm excited to be using it. There's a couple of big changes. I mean, first off, if you're new to the whole BackTrack 4, it's based on Debian now, so hooray there. And it's also, KDE, so there you go, if that's your flavor. And it's actually moved out of the remote exploit realm and is now on its own at backtracklinux.org. So that's where you should go and get yourself a copy. In fact, if you just want to futz around, they have a VMDK all ready for you to go. If virtualization is your thing, you can pop it right open in VMware Player or the superior virtual box stuff. But anyway, regardless, one of the things that I wanted to talk about today was getting set up with BackTrack 4 Final on your laptop. Best way to do it, I think, is just make yourself a USB key. And one of the things that I learned early on playing with BackTrack 3, I think, on my ePC was persistence. And at the time, it wasn't a big deal. What I basically mean by persistence is when I would boot up BackTrack 3 on USB or an SD card on my ePC, I had a fresh copy. which was great because at the time I was still kind of like new to that stuff, and if I fucked anything up, I didn't need to really worry about it too much because I'd reboot and, you know, all of my changes were gone and everything's good, except for the fact that, well, when I did start making changes that were important, like my configurations for Kismet and stuff like that, yeah, they weren't there anymore, and that was kind of a pain to have to edit conf files every single time. So that's what persistence is all about, setting up a USB key so that every time you restart, it's pretty much installed onto the USB key. It's like having another hard drive in your machine, but you don't have to worry about grub or anything like that. It's, you know, removed, it's on its own separate media. So we're going to go ahead and set up BackTrack 4 on its own individual media. Now I already have my Asus here booted up off of this USB key here. This is just a 2 gig, nothing fancy, but that's what I just gone ahead and downloaded the ISO from BackTrack Linux, and then I use UNetbootin, which we've talked about many times in the past. Great Windows tool, makes it real simple to just go ahead and burn, if you will, that ISO onto that USB key. So now I'm booted into BackTrack here. Whoops, there we go. Yep, still booted into BackTrack, and what I'm going to do is I'm now going to install BackTrack instead of on my hard drive. I'm going to install it onto this here 8 gigabyte SD card. And yeah, you're going to need an 8 gigabyte or larger SD card or USB key. I went into this thinking, oh, SD card, perfect. I got plenty of these laying around, 8 gigabytes or larger. And then I found out later that I'm going to need a BIOS tweak before this bad boy is going to boot off them. So in the meantime, I have a little USB caddy to basically turn this into a thumb drive. Regardless, the process is the same, and really all we need to do from here, now that we have BackTrack 4 booted off the USB key, is to plug this little devil in, and we're going to partition him and format him and set him up to copy over the operating system and set him up so that every time we boot, our files don't change. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to go ahead and plug this guy in here. And the first thing we're going to need to do is find out where he is on our system. He's going to be, you know, /dev/SDB, SDC. We're not really sure, so let's go ahead and issue dmessage. And let's grep for that. And this is a pretty generic way to do this, either HD or SD, because it's going to be depending on what your drive is. And we can see here that it is SDC, our 8 gigabyte key. So let's go ahead and begin with fdisk. Fdisk is what's going to allow us to go ahead and partition this guy. We're going to need to set aside a partition for the operating system and then for swap. So let's go ahead and run fdisk/dev/SDC. Now, right off the bat, there's already a partition on here from its previous use. Let's go ahead and nix that. So anything on here you might want to back up beforehand. So let's issue D and our partition number. And now let's go ahead and create a new partition. So N, and this will be the first partition. It's a primary partition. And partition number 1. And we're just going to go ahead and with the defaults there for the first cylinder. And what we want to do here is, I'm just going to go ahead and make it like 2500 megs, 2.5 gigs, whatever. Just make it 2 gigs or larger. You're just going to be way easier that way. We're going to need to create a second partition, and this will be for the remaining space on the drive. So now that we have both of our partitions created, we need to go ahead and set what their file system type is going to be. So we're going to hit T for type, and we're going to choose 1. And we're going to set that, and we can actually hit L here and see all of the different types. We're going to choose B, the hex code for basically the Windows 95, the VFAT, the FAT32. That's going to make it easy to get this all set up. We're going to choose the second partition, and we're going to choose 83 for that, and that's going to be our Linux partition. And now we just need to set one of these to active. We need to set the first partition. So A for active, 1, and finally W to write this all. Okay, so we've written our partitions. Let's go ahead and get the formatting going on. So mkfs.vfat will create a file system of VFAT or FAT32 if you wish. And that's going to be in /dev/SDC1. We're going to do the same thing for ext3. So mkfs.ext3. And for the persistence, we're going to have to set B4096 and tac capital L of Casper RW. And that's going to be same place /dev/sdc2. And finally, all we need to do now is copy everything over from our running instance of BackTrack 4 here to our new drive with our new partitions and our new file systems, and then we'll make it bootable. So let's first go ahead and mount this guy here. So we're going to make a new directory in /mnt, and we're going to call it sdc1. And then we're going to mount it with the mount command. And it's in dev sdc1. And we're going to point it to mount SDC1 just like we just created. Excellent. And now we just CD over to there. Now we just need to copy everything over. And rather than do a CP or anything like that, we're just going to use rsync. It's going to make it easy, going to make it recursive, going to make sure that everything copies over from the media that we're booted on right now to our new partition. So we're going to issue rsync. TAC R for recursive, and /media/cd-rom0, and I'm pretty sure that's going to be the same across the board for all you guys. Star dot or /star, and that is going to be everything in cd-rom0. TAC R is going to say all of the folders, all of those folders, subfolders, everything, and it would just say dot, which basically means the current working directory, as opposed to dot, which would be the previous, and then crazy stuff. But dot is where we are. As we can see, we're in /mount/sdc1. Okay, so while that copies, great. So almost done here. We just need to set up grub, and that's going to allow this to be bootable. So let's go ahead and install grub by grub install tac no floppy, and then our root directory. And that's going to be mount sdc1, and that's in /dev/etc. Okay. So now we have grub installed. We can go ahead and verify that. And there's one last thing that we need to do to make this persistent. We actually need to edit the grub menu. You may remember this from the multipath stuff. Real simple. Let's just go ahead and fire up nano. And let's take a look at the file in /mount/sdc1 boot grub, and it's menu.list. So what we're going to need to do is change the default. You'll see that we can just change this to 4 and come down 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. This is menus already built for us, and there's already a persistent one in there, so we're going to say always use that. We could choose it by default, but we're going to say make this the default, so if we don't press any keys when it's booting up, it's going to go into that. We're also going to append to the end of it VGA equals 0x317. Now this is going to set X window to go ahead and use a resolution, a pretty generic one, of 1024 by 768. I noticed that when I actually do mine on my netbook, did I call it a netbook? 13 inch isn't a netbook. On my, gosh, it feels weird to say laptop. On my laptop here, it's going to go ahead and, it's actually done really well about detecting the proper resolution, and it goes right into 1366 by 768 for me. So, but just go ahead and pop that in there and save the file, Control X, yes, and there you go. We've set it up. All we need to do now, log out and reboot. So there you go, you're booted into your very own persistent BackTrack 4 installation, and from here you can customize it to your liking. You don't like the wallpaper? Cool, change it. Next time you reboot, it's going to be there. I tried this out with installing software. I installed GTK, Record My Desktop, which is actually one of the applications I use to do some of the screen recording when it comes to doing some Linux stuff on Hak5, and worked great. Rebooted, boom, there it was. So anyway, I encourage you all to go ahead, if you're not going to do this on a bootable, just at least go ahead and grab yourself the VMDK, try it out in virtualization. Great little operating system to toy around with, awesome, awesome community, so much support. So check it out now at backtracklinux.org, and then send your questions, feedback, anything like that that you would like us to see play around here with codename OwnSauce, or PwnSauce if you will, to feedback@hak5.org. Judy, I'd love to drive the 3 hours to Annapolis, but I think we can fix your kitten screensaver from here. I just need you to open port 5900 on your firewall. Firewall. Yeah, little boxy thing the internet goes through. Look at me, just a year ago, what a noob, trying to do tech support the hard way. Little did I know, GoToAssist Express is the easiest way to control another person's computer online. Provide instant support to your friends, family members, and clients, and amaze them by getting it all done over the internet. You lower your support costs, you lower your travel time, and you can even provide support remotely even when your client isn't physically at their computer. Brought to you by Citrix, all GoToAssist Express sessions are encrypted 128-bit end-to-end, and you get 24/7 support. So try GoToAssist Express free for 30 days when you go to gotoassist.com/Hak5. Don't be a noob like me.
I wanted to bring back the ZipIt for today's episode for a couple of reasons. One of those reasons being I've gotten a lot of questions about how to actually get into like a WPA encrypted wireless network, as well as this new average userland interface by Root Nexus.
Nice.
Yeah, so both are pretty cool.
Okay, so right off the bat, we have been getting a lot of questions about the WPA stuff. I think real quick I should field the question though that a lot of people have been asking about as far as like AirCrack and Kismet are concerned, and the device, it turns out, shares the same hardware as the iPhone as far as the wireless radio is concerned, and unfortunately there's no open firmware for it. That's why in like the first unlocking part you actually have to copy the firmware off the device to put it back on, because those bin files there are the firmware, they're not open, and sadly that means that we can't do any packet injection or stuff like that with this. So,
well, we'll help you out.
We do other fun, cool stuff like games and whatnot. But how do we get on the wireless
network? It's turning into
network?
a little Game Boy, kind of.
Yeah.
Okay, so first of all, the wireless network. So say you don't have WEP in your house, which you shouldn't. You have WPA or WPA2 encrypted. So the first thing you want to do is go ahead and boot up your ZipIt.
And this is for if you're using Aliosa 27s,
yes, this is Aliosa 27s. The new one by Root Nexus is really, really easy. You want to turn on the wireless radio in this little guy. So you're going to go into the terminal and type in ifconfig eth1 up up. Then you want to create a WPA supplicant configuration, and this would be a file for your router and your password, which you are creating. You type in WPA_passphrase, Hak5, which is our WPA, and then our passphrase, which is Texilla.
Kind of an inside joke.
And then you make one of those alligators.
Greater than?
Yeah.
You mean a waka?
Greater than. The one that eats the bigger number.
Waka.
Alligator.
It's more fun to call it a waka.
No, alligator.
Pac-Man. Waka, waka, waka.
But I like alligator. That's what I learned when I was
Anyway.
in like 2nd grade. Alligator.
So the operator that tells it to put standard into a file.
Yeah. So you create that, and then you create the name of your new WPA file, which for us is going to be hak6.wpa.
Or whatever.
Or whatever you want. Now you want to connect to your WPA network using the configuration file that you've just created. So you type in WPA_supplicant, TAC, DWEXT, TAC IATH1, TAC C, and then the name, hak6.wpa, TAC B, as in boy. So now you want to get your IP address from your router's DHCP by typing in DHClient space ETH1 and enter, and you're done.
There you go. Congratulations.
Yeah, so it's actually pretty easy once you find the steps somewhere.
Yeah. I remember
but until then, it's like, oh, what the heck?
I'm still on Aliosa 27's userland image, and all I've done is just copied all of those commands into like a shell file or shell script, so that whenever I boot up, it just kind of automatically do it, so I don't have to type it all out. But yeah, I'm kind of.
All right. So now for the fun part, we're gonna load up the average userland image.
Now, if you're following along and you're like, what are you talking about? These are the $40 ZipIts that you can find at like Target or online for like 40, 50 bucks, and then, you know, hack them really, really easily, and Shannon's gone into great detail about getting set up on that. So for that reference...
was it 516?
615.
Oh, 615.
I see what you did there. But yeah, episode 615 is what's going to let you know how to get going on these bad boys, and basically up to the point where we need to go over to the new image, right?
Yes. So once you get all of the information out of episode 615, up to the part where I start talking about Fizz Disk Write, that's where I'm going to start you out today.
Okay.
All right, so What I need to do right now is take out this SD card and plug it into my computer. I'm going to open the Fizz Disk Write GUI, and then I want to right-click on whatever the SD card is, and that one. For my computer upstairs, it was like
L drive,
L drive, I think. So I right-click on that, and I choose Öffnen, I think, which means open. And then I choose Image Laden.
No clue.
Play image? I don't know.
I don't know. Laden. Lieben?
I don't know.
I have no idea. My German's so
And then
bad.
you choose the average user image file, which I just stuck on my desktop to make it really easy. After that, it takes about 10 minutes for it to actually upload the file onto the SD card. And then it'll say, okay, we're done. So you pop out the SD card, and you plug it into your ZipIt, and it starts loading up the new userland image.
And it's very slick looking, I gotta say, right off the bat. Like, you don't have to log in as root, you don't have to do any
it has
of that
nice
crap.
little icons all over the place, very small text at the bottom. And the mouse was a little tricky at first. I didn't know how to use it. What you end up having to do is click on the options button and then move around using the D-pad.
So do you have to hold that? Because before you had to hold down the smiley face button.
No, you don't have to hold anything down on this one. You just click on the options button and then you move around with the D-pad by holding down either right or left, up or down.
And then if you want to use arrow keys again?
And then you click the options button again and it turns off the mouse.
Oh, okay. Nice little mouse toggle switch.
Yeah.
Cool.
So if I'm using the IRC, which this does come with IRC, which is very cool.
The original intended purpose of the ZipIt to do messaging.
Yeah.
Nice.
So, for example, in that, to scroll all the way down to like the IRC client, you know, read whatever's new, and then I click on the options button again to turn off the mouse. Then I can start typing in whatever I want, press enter.
Now you were saying
blah,
that
blah,
this is much easier to connect. So we've gone over, if you're doing the Aliosa 27, how you would get on a WPA protecting network with supplicants and DWX and stuff. How do you do this with the new guy?
With this one, you just click on the connect button. There's a little icon on it that comes already pre-installed. Click on that, and it walks you through all of the steps.
Excellent. So what are some of the other features, though, once you're online, what have you found that you really like on here?
All right, well, one of my favorite things is that it comes with some games already installed on it. It has SNES, or Game Boy and NES features on it.
Okay.
So it comes with Super Mario and some Wario games, as well as Tetris.
It comes with some ROMs?
Yes.
Oh. Cool.
Yeah.
I guess that's legit.
Sure.
Yeah. Just make sure you own the game before you go and download the image.
So it comes with those. There's a calculator on it. There's the Wi-Fi connectivity. There's also the Internet Explorer. Internet Explorer. There's the Internet on here that
Internet.
it comes with mobile bookmarks to like Twitter and MySpace and Facebook and stuff already on it, so you just click on those and it takes you straight to the mobile websites for those. And it's pretty good browsing from what I've been able to tell so far.
Yeah, well, it doesn't do Flash, but then again, neither does the iPad, so WTF.
That's true.
And it's about 10 times cheaper.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is,
Sorry,
yeah,
I
it's
just had to get
like
a little
10 times
iPad
cheaper.
jab in there.
Wow.
Yeah, so
There's an
320.
MP3 player,
Okay.
which is very nice. There's MPlayer on here as well, so you can play videos.
Yeah, Root Nexus has gone through I don't know, I just got to give mad props to him for actually going ahead and customizing it like a lot of us were doing individually, and then just putting out his user image there, and that's what open source is all about. It's like, hey, I figured this out, let me just share this, and then it's just going to get better and better from here. And it's great that all of these things look superb, even on a 320 by 240 display.
So there's also an SSH and a Telnet client on this, which is very nice. And there's an FTP and Telnet server so that you can move files back and forth from your FTP on your computer.
Nice.
So you can move around your, your MP3s or your ROMs or whatever.
Yeah. I mean, sure, Telnet's not really that secure, but we've talked about this before. I mean, it's lightweight and it's easy, and typing on that keyboard can be a pain sometimes, so whatever. When you're doing a little bit of dev, go ahead and just Telnet right in. I love that idea.
So I want to play some Tetris.
All right, well, while you play some Tetris, we're going to go ahead and thank one of our excellent sponsors that keeps Hak5 going.
If you're looking for an easy and affordable way to get your website online, check out Domain.com's hosting plans. Their deluxe hosting plan offers unlimited traffic and free website builders with unlimited pages for just $8.75 a month. Already have a domain somewhere else? Support Hak5 and our sponsor by transferring your domain to Domain.com. It's only $6.99 a year to transfer your domain, plus you get an entire extra year. With Domain.com, you get registration without the BS. No totally unrelated upsells, no deceptive renewal pricing. Just blistering fast DNS and hosting, the lowest prices on the web, and the highest quality. Thanks to Hak5 fans, Domain.com is one of the fastest growing domain and hosting companies in the world. Don't forget to use coupon code HAK5 at checkout to get 15% off your order. Got a great idea? It all starts with a great domain. Domain.com.
Now, before we wrap up the show, we've gotten a ton of great questions about video. I don't know, it's kind of interesting, like finally fielding some of these video questions, because go figure, we do it on the show. I mean,
that's true. Well, seeing that you edit the show 24/7, I guess you would be the perfect person to ask that about.
It's kind of fun, because I swear the show, like half of the fun really is just hacking production. It really, I think it is hacking, because there's some creative stuff that we've come up with. First and foremost,
the question.
We got a question about some of the video lights that we use on the road.
Yes.
And, you know, when we were at CES, these guys were just doing great for us. Now, you can pick up some expensive LED panels and stuff like that, I mean, they start at like $250. Or for 30 bucks, and I can't get it off its mount, you can pick up a couple of these each. So these right here are SEMA SL20LX lights here. Another one of these guys, and what's cool about them is that, oh, and I've got them on.
That you can shine them in your friend's eyes.
Come on. About the fun thing is that that these guys.
Oh yeah, that is pretty bright.
Yeah, just like breaking stuff here. These guys stack, so I can go ahead and take one on these little mounting guys, and they're like, you can find these on sale for like 30 bucks, and they've got their own internal battery. They have a charge of 45 minutes to an hour, and they are super bright. I think they claim 600 lumens. I'm not really sure, but you know, blind just about anyone with these. So picked up a couple of these for CES. We've used them in the past before, and now we've got a whole bunch of them that we're going to be doing like 3-camera lighting with, and they work great. I like them, with one small little caveat. Okay, with as inexpensive as these guys are, there's the problem that the original SL20LX will not allow you to run the light while it is being powered. It's weird. You plug in the power cord and you can no longer run the light. Then they created the new version, the international version. It's the LXI. Same price. You find these online real cheap, and basically they fixed that problem, and then it comes with the different plugs to use them in the UK or wherever else your travels may take you, which is good stuff. Yeah.
That's good for you.
It sure is. So I'm going to be using these, and the little caveat other than that though is that sure, they're not the same quality as a $250 light panel, but we're on a hacker budget, and so we just picked up these, and what I'm going to be using here is got a roll of my Roscoe minus green here. This is
that pink?
Well, yeah.
Why do you have pink film?
Well, it's called gel.
Are you making a porn?
I'm not making a porn. And if I were, you'd have to go to PayPal to figure it out. Anyway,
what?
So yeah, this right here is pink gel that basically removes the green tint that this may cast. I mean, it's very subtle, so it's not like if I take this this film off the back, it's really not that pink, but anyway.
Yeah, it makes your shirt less green, Kiwi.
Oh, shut up. So it's an official TV show. No, I'm joking.
Whatever.
So yeah, anyway, that's what I'm doing. I'm going to be modding these. Pretty easy. You unscrew them, you cut the film out, and it pops right here on the frosted plastic. So you get, whatever. We just white balance to 5.2 anyway, so who cares? But that's what I'm going to be doing as far as lighting is concerned. And we got another question, follow-up about these creatives. I have 2 of the new creatives, the 3rd gens, as well as I've got a codec on order for the ZI-8. They're kind of hard to find. Cool. Because I was being asked, what am I going to do about, because I'm recording an episode in the UK on my motorcycle, on tour and all that stuff, and it's like, are you really going to bring like one of these big-ass cameras? And
yeah.
No. The other thing is, though, for Hak5, we need 3 cameras to do all that fun switching stuff. So I figured I would just go ahead and give these guys the proper test, and we'll see. We'll see how it works out. I'll probably have more video blogs in the future about how I'm using these. But I figured between these 2 for, person 1 and person 2 cam, and then this is the first generation Vado HD for the center. In fact, I'm going to be using this one a lot because I rented a CBF 500, a little Honda motorbike. And then I got a lot of questions about this before, about how I actually do this. I basically just take my helmet, take this. This is all covered in Velcro on the front and back. And then on the inside of my helmet, it's covered in Velcro as well. So when I pop this bad boy on, I don't know how well you're going to be able to see that, but yeah, you see this just pokes right out just over the top, and it doesn't obstruct my vision at all because it's so low. This is actually where there was a breath guard that I took out that you don't even need if you've got the, I've got a visor that has some, I don't know, some weird coating that makes it not fog up. But yeah, it doesn't obstruct my vision, pops right over the top, fits me perfectly, and it's all just held in with Velcro.
So doesn't it give you like a little bit of rug burn on your nose?
It turned out it was, so I put the soft side of the Velcro on the camera, and then I put the hard side of the Velcro on my helmet, as well as a few other different places strategically, like on my you know, like on my motorcycle jacket, so I could like, I don't know, just weird places. It was great. I could like mount it anywhere. But whenever I put my helmet on, I wasn't used to there being this stuff here, and it was scraping my nose. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That's what that was.
Very good. Well, we do have a couple of other things we wanted to tell you about. First off is our Twitter. It's twitter.com/Hak5, and you can find all of us through that. And yes, we do check our Twitter. As well as that, you can check out our Facebook, which is facebook.com/Technolest. And all of us are on there as friends. You can find all of us on Facebook. I have my own fan page now.
Woot.
It's facebook.com/Snubsy.
I don't have a fan page yet, but I am using the Hak5, what is it, the facebook.com/Technolest to do coordination for the events.
Right.
Because I'm going to go ahead and post those all as event pages. So if you're not on Facebook already, go ahead and get on there just so you can get into the event stuff. I'm also going to post this on my personal blog at darrenkitchen.com. But what I'm talking about is the official Hak5 meetups in London, Sheffield, Manchester, and Dublin. And
all over the place.
And then back to London again.
Yay!
Yeah. But those will be February 16th through the 21st, 22nd, I think. And yeah, so if you're in any of those cities or nearby, you want to come on by. I'm sorry I couldn't make it out to Glasgow and Edinburgh and Dublin and everywhere else that is cool.
There'll be more times. This is the first time anyone from Hak5 has gone overseas, as far as I know.
Yeah, well, we've gone to Canada a bunch, but we've never crossed
That's
the
not
pond.
overseas.
Yeah,
so that's over like Lake Ontario.
Well, next time, you know, because it's a lot less expensive than I thought it was when you go in the colder months, where you really have to bundle up and worry about your digits falling off on a motorcycle. But that's another story, and we'll find out how that goes. Anyway, with that long-winded D-block, as always, we are reminding you once again to trust your Technolest. You are more like a dog. Look at this. These are bite marks.
Dude, I really put bite marks on this?
Yes.
Oh my God, there is a bite.
Where are you putting the 5?
5. 5.
I'm just going to move the expensive equipment. Oh, no.
That's a lot better. That was really good.
Thank you. I learned that in film school that I didn't go to. No. I got a question about this. It's like, what happened to your Acer you used to rock the netbook? That's what happened to it. You want it? It's yours.
That's cool. Actually.
That's the inside of a netbook.
Fun. I'm gonna play with it.